Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday, July 25th. I'm Christina Laurie.
And I'm Aaron White.
In for Chris again?
In for Chris again, yeah. He's taking a nice little break, so much deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
All the crazy stuff we've had this summer with the heat, the storms and everything, but that's in the forecast again.
And we've had a lot of tough news as well, so that's why we want to try a new thing. And on Saturday mornings, we thought we're going to kick off your weekend with a positive story, something to get you smiling. Of course, we're also going to get to your headlines, but we're going to start with something a little happier. So we're going to head to Wheatland Manor Nursing Home in Wheatland, Iowa for this one. Some advice from the wise women there who really know what they're talking about. First up, there is Alice, who at 94 years old just wants people to smile. Then there's Lois, asking people to love, not hate. Then there's another Lois who's asking people to play, her grandkids rather, to play Uno with her. And then finally Helen, just shy of becoming a centurion, says you should be nice to everyone. And those are some words to live by.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, 98 years old, that's amazing. And, asking people to smile and to love, that's not too much to ask for, right?
No, it's definitely not. I didn't think it was too much to ask for, like, some nice weather either.
Yeah, and we'll get there at some point. It's going to take a couple of days as we get through the weekend. We're going to have those alert days in the forecast for today and tomorrow, as we have that high heat up to 90 degrees for afternoon highs across southern Wisconsin, but heat index values, those are going to rise over 100 by the afternoon. For today, though, we have a good amount of sunshine this morning and just a few high clouds. Temperatures are going to warm up into the upper 80s, eventually to 90 by the afternoon, and across the area we have temperatures generally into the lower to middle 70s already to start your day. And we do have a heat advisory in effect for our western communities this afternoon for those heat index values from 100 to 105. So if you're going to be out, drink plenty of water. But we're also tracking the tropics as a lot of activity today. We just now actually have a first hurricane of the season in the Atlantic. That's Hurricane Hannah. That actually just happened about a half an hour ago. So we'll talk about that and our storm chances coming up in just a little bit.
And I know you never got to meet her, but Keely Arthur, she used to work here for a bunch of years. She recently left and she actually moved out east. So she might be on some hurricane coverage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's there's so many things happening down there in the tropics, so I'm sure they're going to be pretty active with that.
It's rare to have this many named storms so early in the season.
Yeah, it certainly
keep hearing.
is.
That's all I know about hurricanes.
Yeah, this is the earliest H storm we've had on record in the Atlantic, so it's just a lot of stuff going on. We're only into late July, so we have a lot of time left.
Wow, we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Aaron. The U.S. topped 4 million coronavirus cases this week, and cases continue to climb at record speeds. Take a look at this data projection from CNN. It starts from when Johns Hopkins recorded the first COVID case in the U.S. back on January 21st. Through now. The U.S. went from 1 to 1 million cases in 99 days, then from 1 to 2 in 43 days, 2 to 3 in 28 days, and now 3 to 4 in just 15. Hotspots like Florida, Arizona, and Texas are leading this surge. Meanwhile, a grim new prediction from the CDC forecasts the virus will likely claim as many as 30,000 lives over the next 3 weeks. Overnight, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker announced that travelers to his state will have to quarantine for 14 days or risk a $500 a day fine.
We have a lower average for positive tests than many states around the country, and we want to keep it that way.
McDonald's is now the latest major company to mandate masks. The fast food giant says face coverings will be required at all of its U.S. locations starting August 1st. Meanwhile, Wisconsin is ending the week with an uncontrolled spread of the virus. That's how COVIDexitstrategy.org is categorizing our state. The site uses the White House's gating criteria to track every state's progress towards mitigating symptoms and cases, including things like hospital capacity, testing, and confirmed cases. The Journal Sentinel reports Wisconsin was trending poorly just last week. For the second time this week, Wisconsin has more than 1,000 new COVID cases in the past 24 hours. That brings the state's total to more than 47,000, according to data from DHS and individual county dashboards. DHS says about 5.8% of tests in the past 24 hours have come back positive. That's a slight decrease from the day before. Of all confirmed cases, around 20% are still active. But these numbers don't tell the whole story. Wisconsin Health Secretary Andrea Palm says a more accurate picture of virus activity is a 7-day average, in part due to a backlog in counties reporting negative cases. You can learn more about why this backlog started and how the state is coming up with a long-term solution for it on channel3000.com. New studies suggest higher temperatures and air conditioning may be contributing to the spread. Data shows that states that use air conditioners more tend to have higher COVID rates. A study of a restaurant in China shows COVID particles from one person can spread to 9 others, some more than 6 feet away in air-conditioned rooms. We will have more about the dangers of AC when it comes to COVID coming up in our next half hour. Starting today, everyone in the state of Minnesota will have to wear masks inside public spaces. Our neighbor's new statewide order is now officially in effect. It applies to places like stores and restaurants, as well as public transportation. Business owners who violate this order could face a $1,000 fine or up to 90 days in jail. 2 other states in the Midwest also announced policies for face coverings this week. Ohio's statewide order started Wednesday, and Indiana's will start on Monday. Illinois and Michigan already have mandates in place. So does Door County. If you're heading there this weekend, be sure to pack your mask. A new emergency advisory now requires everyone 5 and up to wear a face covering in public. It applies to businesses of any kind, healthcare settings, and public transportation. Still no mask mandate statewide here in Wisconsin, though, but that's not because the governor doesn't want one.
Governor, if you could be confident a mask order wouldn't face legal obstacles, would you have any hesitation about enacting one for the state?
No.
Governor Tony Evers says he is still considering a statewide mask mandate, but says he believes his powers to order one are limited because of a Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling back in May that struck down his safer at home order. Looking ahead, you have some extra time to be counted in the 2020 census. The deadline to submit your response has been extended 3 months because of COVID. You now have until October 31st, Halloween, to respond. All U.S. residents are required by law to respond to the census. You can do that online at 2020census.gov. More local news now. The pandemic isn't stopping an annual summer shopping tradition. The Monroe Street Sidewalk Sale will go on with a couple of changes today. The sale will still be happening in person, but there will also be an online option for people who want to avoid crowds or just shop from the comfort of their own home. The sidewalk sale runs from 10 until 5. You can find a full list of deals at monroestreetmadison.com. It's 8:07 this morning. Baseball is back for the first weekend of the year, and we are getting things started early, showing you some of the worst first pitches probably ever. But first, you're taking a live look over the Capitol on this Saturday morning. Ice cream eating weather is ahead for us this weekend. We've got some sweet stories about that and your full forecast right after this.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty. Or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
Thinking about your financial plan? So are we. Prudential helps 25 million people with their financial needs. With over 90 years of investment experience, our thousands of financial professionals can help. Go to Prudential.com or talk to an advisor.
Like you, my hands are everything to me. But I was diagnosed with Dupuytren's contracture, and it got to the point where things I took for granted got tougher to do. Thought surgery was my only option. Turns out, I was wrong. So when a hand specialist told me about non-surgical treatments, it was a total game changer. Like you, my hands have a lot more to do. Learn more at faxonhand.com today.
On the road again. Book 2 separate qualifying stays and earn a free night. The open road is open again, and wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels is there. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Today we're
facing a serious threat. We have to meet it as one country. Numbers don't lie. Infection rates are now going up in more states than they're going down. We got to fight this together. Wear a mask. Keep your distance. Limit the size of crowds. It may be inconvenient. It may be uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do as an American. We need a president who will level with the American people. President will tell us the unvarnished truth. President will take responsibility instead of always blaming others. President will listen to the experts, follow the science, allow them to speak. President will lead, be an example for the nation. We have to do all we can to keep our fellow Americans safe and healthy. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If you forgot to celebrate National Ice Cream Day last weekend, this weekend's heat is another reason to order a scoop or two. The Chicago Tribune is out with a list of the most Googled ice cream flavors by state. In Illinois, the most searched is Blue Moon. Iowa's is Rocky Road. Minnesota's is kind of unique, Cookie Monster ice cream. That's apparently vanilla that's dyed blue with chocolate chip cookies and Oreos in it. And saving the best for last, Wisconsin, here in America's Dairyland, the most searched flavor is Blue Moon, just like Illinois. No matter where you live, the best ice cream, though, is free. And this weekend, there's a new way you can get free Frosties from Wendy's. The fast food chain is the first major burger chain to launch a rewards program focused on food. That means you can now earn points for every purchase made through the Wendy's app. Every dollar gets you 10 points. Rewards include Frosty milkshakes for 150 points. 5% of Wendy's sales come from online and app orders, although those numbers probably going to go up after more people learn about this program. You going to sign up, Aaron?
I think so. I mean, ice cream sounds good right now. What's your favorite flavor if you had to pick?
I'm cotton candy.
Cotton candy? Okay, I can agree on that.
I'm a 5-year-old at heart.
That's all right. I go with Rocky Road. Probably is I would say that's my favorite. There's a couple options, but it's going to be a great day for some ice cream if you're going to head outside today and tomorrow, as we have a lot of heat in the forecast. High temperatures topping out near 90, but we're also tracking the tropics, a very active end to July. We have 3 named storms, one in the Pacific, that's Hurricane Douglas. That's going to be heading towards Hawaii. Also now, Hurricane Hannah. This is the first hurricane of the season in the Atlantic Basin. This just got upgraded to a hurricane about a half an hour ago. That's going to be making a run for Texas later on today, and also Gonzalo. But here's Hannah. Max sustained winds at 75 miles per hour. This is just off the coast. You can see those outer bands now moving into the southeast coast of Texas. This is going to be making landfall later on this afternoon, just south of Corpus Christi. You can see that track. Still a Category 1 hurricane, 80 mile per hour sustained winds. Likely that's the forecast before it makes landfall and then starts to weaken. But heavy rainfall and those high winds are going to be expected. But then we also have Douglas. Those winds are a lot higher, 110 mile per hour sustained winds. That's going to be heading towards Hawaii over the course of the next couple of days, affecting the northern islands later on into Sunday and Monday as well. But back here at home, we have the heat to deal with, as we have the heat advisory in effect for areas west of Madison. That's for heat index values anywhere from 100 to 105 for this afternoon, and we're going to see that repeated for the day tomorrow. But you can see the heat index anywhere from 95 to 105 across much of Wisconsin. Some higher values are possible as we see those higher dew points approaching 70 or even 75, and then we see that again as we get into tomorrow. So it's going to be a hot weekend, but there is some cooler weather in the forecast by next week. But as we look at future track, note those southerly winds bringing in that heat and humidity. High temperatures topping out into the upper 80s to right around 90. Some more clouds coming in later on this evening into the overnight hours as we watch the chance for some showers and storms developing towards Sunday morning. That does start to fall apart, but I think there will be another round of showers and storms developing by Sunday afternoon. So there is a risk of severe weather with that. Note that area in darker green, that is a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 for some stronger wind gusts, some heavy rainfall going to be the bigger threats, mainly after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It could be a little bit earlier than that, just really depends on how things play out. But for today, Going to be dry, partly sunny, hot and humid with that high near 90 degrees. And then here's our 7 to 10 day forecast showing those alert days in the forecast for today and tomorrow. And then we do start to cool back down as we get into the work week. Highs into the lower 80s, 83 on Monday, 82 on Tuesday. More sunshine, less humidity. So get through the weekend and we have I would say a great week ahead for us.
Yeah, you delivered. Not this weekend, but pretty much everything else.
Yeah,
you got the approval from me. I know everyone.
Yeah,
really
get through
cares.
a couple days. I mean, enjoy the work week. It'd be nice if it was on the weekend, but I think next weekend's gonna be a lot better.
Not to rub it in, but we have weird weekends.
Yeah.
So good weather for us. Hey, guys, you might want to jump on board and work weekends.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Thanks, Aaron. Forward Madison kicks off its season tonight in Texas, and you'll be able to watch the game on TVW along with every other game on their schedule, too. It's the official Flamingo station, so be sure to catch all 16 Forward Madison games live on TVW. The only other time the Brewers and Cubs squared off on opening day was March 31st of 2008. That game was also at Wrigley, and the Crew won it in extra innings. This year, the Crew wasn't so lucky. At least Anthony Rizzo made sure first base was clean, sharing his hand sanitizer with Orlando Arcia. He had the Brewers' first 3 hits of the season. Unfortunately, they weren't like this. Ian Happ drops it into the bleachers to make it 2-0 Cubs. That was more than enough for Kyle Hendricks. He was dialed in, pitching a complete shutout with 9 strikeouts. Brewers fall 3-0. The Crew is hoping to get the Cubs to hang up their W flags later today. First pitch at 12:05. Once again, there won't be any fans in the stands at Wrigley this afternoon, but you might have to do a double take. Fox is superimposing virtual fans into the bleachers for today's game between the Cubs and Brewers. The network is experimenting with computer-generated fans and piped-in crowd noise to give people watching at home the experience they're used to. Fox will change the colors of the gear virtual fans are wearing to match the home team. The jury's still out on whether or not that's cool or creepy, but the good news is that for the first time in 2020, you can spend your weekend watching Major League Baseball. This shortened season looks a lot different with new health and safety protocols in place. No high fives, no lineup card changes, and no arguing with umps. To speed up the game, the National League is using a designated hitter, and extra innings will start with a runner on second. To celebrate the return of baseball, we've rounded up some of the worst first pitches of all time. First up, Snoop Dogg. Here he is, attempting to throw the first pitch before a Padres game in 2016. That's more than just a bit outside. Then there's Mariah Carey. Not exactly known for her athleticism. Let's show her next. But at least she's going to shake this off with a smile. Good attitude, points for that. Olympic gold medalist Carl Lewis is next. He won 9 gold medals in track and field. Certainly wasn't given any award for this first pitch at a Mariners game. And then there's pop singer Carly Rae Jepsen. No team calling her after this throw. So how does Dr. Anthony Fauci stack up? The nation's top infectious disease expert took the mound throwing out the first pitch on opening night in D.C. and, well, let's just say he's been a bit too busy to practice. Plus, nobody was there to see it, right? Last season, a White Sox employee who was being honored as Employee of the Month had one of the worst first pitches ever, too, so you're going to have to Google that one. But time now, 8:17. No need to Google what to watch. This weekend, we'll give you that for free. Will is sharing his picks in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch in Trending News right after this.
This is my body of proof. Proof I can fight moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
Proof I can fight psoriatic arthritis. With Humira. Proof of less joint pain.
And clearer skin in PSA.
Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Humira is proven to help stop further joint damage.
Want more proof? Ask your rheumatologist about Humira citrate-free.
If you can't afford your medicine, AbbVie may be able to help.
I'm here. Auntie's here. Hey, Mom and Dad here.
Shall we begin?
Together, nothing can keep us apart. That's why U.S. Cellular is building powerful 5G coverage that works inside and out. And now, get $700 off the latest phones. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
Blackhawk has helped me be able to pursue fire science. I've always wanted to give back to not only my own community, but to other people that might have helped me along the way. My instructors, they know how to joke around with us and have a good time, make our training not just our training where it's boom, 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 but it's also oh, we're having a good time while we're learning something that we love to do. I don't think the passion will ever go away for having to go on a call or going to help people.
Hi, I'm Brian from McGann Furniture in Baraboo. We know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to people my age, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. Shop McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo. You'll be glad you did.
Seattle's pledge to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The inevitable has once again become reality in the world of entertainment. AMC Theaters had planned to welcome movie lovers this weekend. That timetable has now been pushed back to mid to late August. The company owns 450 theaters across the country, including one at Madison's Hilldale Mall. With no other options of where to watch new movies and shows, at least you still have a choice of what to watch. HBO has released the first trailer for an upcoming documentary about a black teenager who was killed by a group of white men in 1989.
Next thing I know, I hear gunshots.
His brothers. I saw it early on.
Yusuf Hawkins' Storm Over Brooklyn takes viewers to New York City, where the victim's family and friends reflect on the tragedy 30 years later and recount their difficult fight for justice. The documentary premieres on HBO and HBO Max August 12th.
You don't know who I am and what I'm about, but I'll do anything to find that source. Listen to my voice.
An ex-soldier, a teenager, and a cop come together to track down a dangerous new pill in the upcoming action flick, Project Power. Jamie Foxx stars as a former soldier trying to stop whoever is responsible for making the pill that gives its users unique superpowers for 5 minutes, sometimes with deadly results. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Dominique Fishback also star. Project Power debuts on Netflix August 14th.
Nobody likes Laney. We the bad kids, the scrappy ones.
I think he woke up pissing fire.
Also on Netflix, a junior college football team sets out to defend its championship title in the new season of Last Chance U. Season 5 of the Emmy-nominated series follows the team at Laney College in Oakland, California, documenting their journey as they face one of their toughest seasons ever and the setbacks they face along the way. Last Chance U premieres on Netflix this coming Tuesday. But before then, you can watch something new this weekend. Here is Will Loper with 3 things to watch.
Science is changing. And the very people who are running science are the people who believe the world is flat.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime this week is the film Radioactive.
There is another element that's skewing the results.
You think you found an undiscovered element?
You have fundamentally misunderstood the atom.
Rosamund Pike stars as the scientist Marie Curie, who accomplishes scientific breakthroughs but faces discrimination because of her gender.
Our work's been nominated for the Nobel Prize for our discovery of radioactivity. And the commendation only mentions my name.
I'm just the wife, isn't that right?
When have I ever treated you like
I am the wife of Pierre Curie. I want to protest in the strongest possible terms. It is a distinct lack of respect.
Radioactive is streaming on Amazon Prime now.
This is my fight. and I will win it.
I'm here with the Globe. I'm writing an article on an Operation Goliath. You can either tell me what really happened, or you can squander this precious opportunity.
New on video on demand is the film Most Wanted.
This operation is a national scandal. The police seem to have restricted my access.
We can't publish this. It could blow up in our face.
Josh Hartnett plays an investigative reporter who uncovers a case in which a man is sentenced to 100 years in a Thai prison.
Don't you think it's time you just drop it?
No, I'm not going to drop it.
Citizens are going to be executed. We're not going to do a thing about it.
You can't save everybody.
Most Wanted is available to rent for $6.99 on VOD platforms.
Am I supposed to leave him out there to rot?
What happened to that wide-eyed kid who used to love the circus?
He grew up.
I'm eating dog biscuits for a job.
Finally, if you've got little ones to entertain, put on Animal Crackers, newly streaming on Netflix. John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Danny DeVito, and more provide voices in the story about a family who discover animal crackers that can turn them into animals, and they use them to help a failing circus.
They didn't come here to see acrobats.
I have to do something.
Like what?
Into the unknown.
Animal Crackers is streaming on Netflix now. Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
From movies to music, the countdown is on to Beyonce's 3rd visual album, which comes out this Friday. The official trailer for Black is King features appearances by husband Jay-Z and former bandmate Kelly Rowland. It's written, directed, and executive produced by Beyonce herself, who took inspiration from The Lion King for this project. The Grammy winner says it's meant to celebrate Black history and African culture with a modern twist. Again, Black is King premieres on Disney Plus this Friday, July 31st. A half hour of news is still ahead this morning, including the latest warnings about COVID and the summer heat. Find out how you can cut the chance your air conditioner is spreading the virus right after this.
Shop Steinhaffel's Summer of Sleep and get $300 in Steinhaffel's instant bonus cash and free delivery with any Tempur-Pedic mattress set. Tempur-Pedic Queen Adapt Medium and Medium Hybrid are now $19.99. Elevate your sleep experience and save an extra $300 on an Ergo adjustable base. Queen size adjustable base now $9.99. Plus, get no money down, 0% financing for 60 months. Get the most highly recommended bed in America right now from a name you trust. Shop Steinhaffel's Summer of Sleep sale.
Metastatic breast cancer is relentless. But I'm relentless too, because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopausal status. And it's the only one of its kind you can take every day.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is approved for women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer whose disease has progressed after hormonal treatment. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At first sign of diarrhea, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening inflammation of the lungs can occur. Talk to your doctor if you have new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include tiredness, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are pregnant or nursing.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Cross something important off your list. Free installation on all windows, siding, and doors. And no interest for 1 year. The biggest sale of the year is here.
Free installation ends Friday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866
for Feldco.
Velveeta breakfast biscuits are baked with nutritious morning energy. Energy to share joy. Energy to share new ideas. Energy to share more light with the world. Nutritious morning energy from Velveeta. It takes energy to share your energy.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. We've seen what can happen when we elect a leader determined to divide us. As president, Joe Biden will forge a new path by growing an economy that works for working families, getting small businesses back on their feet, and expanding access to affordable health care. Joe Biden will lead us on the path forward, paved with opportunity for us all.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope your Saturday's gone off to a good start. It's July 25th. I'm Christina Laurie. Flags are flying at half-staff today here in Wisconsin to honor a recently identified Korean War soldier. Army Corporal Francis Rochin's remains have returned to Wisconsin for burial 70 years after his death. He's from Superior and will be buried with full military honors in Foxborough. Governor Tony Evers says this is a great yet somber day, and that, quote, we humbly remember Corporal Rochin's brave sacrifice to honor our country and offer our condolences to his family as they now find closure. Meanwhile, 6 days of ceremonies to honor the late Georgia Representative John Lewis will start later today in his native state of Alabama. Tomorrow, a military honor guard will accompany Lewis's body across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, where Lewis helped lead the 1965 March for Voting Rights. Then next week, a motorcade will bring his body through Washington, D.C., passing numerous locations, including the Black Lives Matter Plaza, the site of Lewis's final appearance. The famed civil rights leader will then lie in state at the U.S. Capitol before he's finally laid to rest in Atlanta. Now, here's meteorologist Aaron White in for Chris this weekend. Tracking an alert day, Aaron.
Yeah, we have that alert day for today and even tomorrow as we have a lot of heat in the forecast. High temperatures topping out near 90 degrees, and with the dew points pretty high into the lower 70s, we're talking about heat index values topping 100 later on this afternoon and even for the day tomorrow. Now, there is a heat advisory in effect areas west of Madison. That's because I think we're going to have higher dew points, so higher heat index values in these areas across Grant County, Crawford County, Iowa, Lafayette County, and all areas to the north and west. But still further to the east, we're still going to have high heat index values. It just might not be as high as areas to the west, but still pretty warm out there this morning. 75 in Madison, 72 in Mineral Point, 73 in Lone Rock. And as we head through the day, we will see those temperatures warming up through the 70s into the 80s, eventually to 90 this afternoon. And aside from the heat, we're also tracking the chance of some storms coming in later on this weekend, and I'll have details on that coming up.
Thank you so much, Aaron. When the pandemic first started, there was some hope that COVID could weaken in the summer heat. Instead, cases have skyrocketed in the hottest parts of the country. Now, mounting evidence suggests that air conditioning is partly to blame.
Sweltering temperatures may be contributing to the virus's spread. Data shows that states with higher air conditioning use also tend to have higher COVID rates, says Harvard professor Edward Nardell.
The main problem is that because of the extreme heat in the South, people are indoors now and unable to social distance as much and rebreathing the same air that was just exhaled by someone else.
He says about 80% of an AC's air is recirculated. A study of a restaurant in China shows how on one night, COVID particles from one person spread to 9 others, some more than 6 feet away, likely due to the airflow from the AC system. That's why ventilation is top of mind for Michelle Fire, who owns this Chicago restaurant, Tweet.
How worried were you about COVID spreading indoors?
Not how worried was I, how worried am I? We need to have people have faith to come inside and sit inside if we're to stay in business.
To do that, she spent $7,000 on 3 of these air purifiers, which claim to be effective against bacteria and viruses. Anything to keep the air as clean as possible. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Chicago.
While older people or those living with pre-existing conditions are more likely to get COVID, the disease spares no one. Next, we'll hear firsthand from a young and otherwise healthy Madison dietitian who got the disease herself. Her message to anyone who thinks the virus isn't a real threat.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. It's time to find new roads again.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
A lung cancer diagnosis can leave you holding your breath. But Bristol-Myers Squibb is working to change things by researching new kinds of medicines that could help you live longer, including options that are chemo-free, because we're committed to bringing new hope into lung cancer care. Learn about our lung cancer research at lungcancerresearch.com.
If you're overweight, you might think it's your metabolism, but it could be a condition called insulin resistance. Fat becomes trapped inside your body, and it's hard to lose weight even if you diet. Now there's a solution to insulin resistance called GOLO. GOLO reverses insulin resistance and increases metabolic efficiency. Over 500,000 people have tried GOLO with a 98% satisfaction rating. Head to GOLO.com now to find out more. That's GOLO.com.
This year's school is going to be full of changes, so we're preparing to help you prepare.
What will school look like? How can you and your district keep your kids safe? And how can we help all of our children continue to learn?
We're getting the answers you need because we want you to feel prepared when it's time to send kids back to the classroom.
So keep an eye on News 3 Now this morning and get ready to go back to school.
Welcome back on this Saturday morning. The time is now 8:37, and we have alert days in the forecast for today and tomorrow as we're tracking that high heat and humidity. High temperatures are going to be around 90 degrees, and heat index values are going to be approaching 100, if not exceeding that. But aside from that, we're also tracking the threat for some storms coming in. For today, we will see those highs again approaching 90 degrees this afternoon. A fair amount of sunshine, but know that southerly wind that's going to bring in that humidity, those higher dew points, and that's going to help to fuel showers and storms late tonight into Sunday morning, and possibly another round coming in by Sunday afternoon and evening. So we will have to keep an eye on that. There is a marginal risk of severe weather. That's that dark green shading. Level 1 out of 5 for some strong wind gusts and some heavy rainfall. And aside from that, we are also tracking the tropics this morning. We have two hurricanes, Hurricane Douglas, that's in the Pacific, and Hurricane Hannah in the Atlantic. And I'll talk more about what Hannah's going to be doing for Texas later on today, and also our storm threat coming up.
Emmy Bodden is one of the healthiest people I know. She's a registered dietitian here in Madison, and we've had her on this show many times in the past sharing nutrition advice. So she's one of the last people you think would get COVID, but she did. She joins us this morning to tell us a little bit about what that was like. Good morning, Emmy.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on. I wanted just to start by finding out what symptoms you had that caused you initially to get tested.
Well, it's actually really funny. My symptoms didn't prompt me to get tested. We thought my fiance had interacted with someone who we thought had been exposed, and that actually wasn't the case. But that did prompt me to get tested. I had a really, really mild sore throat when I got tested, but that's not what prompted me to get the test.
And so after you got the test, did you get more symptoms? Did those symptoms worsen?
Yes. So I got my positive results a couple days after the test, and pretty much on that day and after, my sore throat worsened a little bit. I developed a mild, maybe moderate dry cough, some body aches, really small shortness of breath. My fatigue was very bad, but I never developed a fever. I did have some GI issues. All things that I thought I could explain away for a million different reasons, you know, seasonal allergies, a seasonal cold, that kind of thing. And none of the symptoms would have ever prompted me to get a test in my mind, just because they weren't ever, aside from this fatigue, very severe.
How long did these symptoms last? I know the average battle for healthy people like yourself is around 2 weeks. Was that a time frame that is familiar to you?
Yes, yeah. I would say it was about 2 weeks until I felt fully healthy. I was definitely in bed, unable to work for a full week. And then things started to kind of dissipate for the 7 days after that.
So what would you say to people who are watching this, who like you might not get tested, maybe they weren't exposed to anyone else with the virus? What would you say to someone who might just not want to get tested right now? The lines are long.
Yeah, well, I would say this. If you have any of the symptoms listed, and I mean any of them, not relying on the fact that you don't have a fever, I would recommend to get tested, especially if you can explain any way to, you know, being tired, having allergies, having an upset stomach. It's just worth it to go get tested. Although my symptoms were never severe enough to seek medical care or hospitalization, the fact that there were several days that I didn't know I was positive, that could have put someone else at risk. So it's really important that you get tested so that we're not continuing to spread this virus.
Do you have any idea where you could have gotten the virus?
That's something we laugh about, because I am probably the most, we'll say, recluse person during this whole time. I've been inside. I was rarely going out. I was really just starting to go out the week prior, taking bike rides. So that's what public health kind of determined may have been where I contracted it, leaving my apartment building. And although I always wear a mask and always use hand sanitizer, there could have been a time where I wasn't paying attention and, you know, touched my glasses, and there you go. So it's unknown at this point, but even the most careful people, you know, can get it.
It really can happen to anyone. And do you have any lingering side effects now? Because I know that some people, even if they've had just kind of lingering aches and pains, or are you good?
I still have a sore throat. It's really mild, but it did prompt me to get tested again, just to be sure, and I'm negative. So those lingering side effects do still last.
It's certainly nothing to mess around with.
Exactly, and I will have to say I'm extremely lucky that my case wasn't severe, because we do hear severe cases for young, healthy people. So I'm just happy that mine wasn't, and we know that I didn't pass it to anyone else. So those are things that I'm thankful for.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And hopefully next time you come on the program, we're talking about something a little more fun, like food.
I hope so too.
Thanks, Emmy. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
And you can be sure to connect with Emmy on her Instagram page, realgood_nutrition, and on her website, therealgoodnutrition.com. She shares some great, really healthy and delicious recipes. So we're going to give you a few reasons to smile, sharing several of our favorite stories of the week next. But first, you're taking a live look over the Capitol on this Saturday morning. Aaron is back with your Alert Day forecast right after this.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer, using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Shop Grand Appliance in-store or online for the area's lowest prices on hundreds of in-stock appliances, 0% interest through 2022 on qualifying purchases, and up to $500 in extra savings available exclusively at Grand Appliance. Save with great deals like this Samsung front-load washer-dryer pair with large 4.5 cubic foot washer capacity and steam cleaning for just $12.46 after rebate. Grand Appliance and TV. You make it home, we make it grand.
It was a dark night in drive-thru land. The people had grown tired of greasy burgers and gut bombs. But then, 3 heroes emerged. Their savory sauces brought courage. Their juicy tomatoes brought might. Their roast chicken brought the taste of roast chicken. They were called Arby's New Market Fresh Wraps. And everyone ate happily ever after at the end. Arby's, we have the meats.
Let's summer. Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouthwater more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods.
Welcome to the Del Bar. One visit and you'll fall in love. A supper club you'll adore. 3 generations and a Wisconsin tradition for over 75 years. We are now open, so take a drive. We would love to have you come and dine with us. The Del Bar, since 1943, Wisconsin Dells.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back on this Saturday morning. We're tracking heat for southern Wisconsin for today and tomorrow, but we're also tracking the tropics as there's a lot of activity going on right now. We have 2 hurricanes and 1 tropical storm. Hurricane Douglas, that's in the Pacific, going to be heading towards Hawaii over the next couple of days, but more immediate threat, that's Hurricane Hannah, and that's actually going to be impacting Texas, already happening on the southeast coast of Texas near Corpus Christi down to Brownsville. This is going to be making landfall over the course of the next 12 hours or so. It is a hurricane with winds sustained at 75 miles per hour, and you'll notice still a Category 1 hurricane as it makes landfall just after 1 o'clock, probably around 3 or 4 this afternoon, just south of Corpus Christi. But also Hurricane Douglas, that is going to be heading out through the Pacific, making landfall north of the Hawaiian Islands. It may not make landfall on the actual island, but is going to bring some high impacts with some high winds, heavy rainfall for most of the island chain over the course of the next couple of days. But back here at home, we have the heat. We have alert days in the forecast today and tomorrow. Those heat index values going to be approaching 100, if not higher than that, and also tracking the chance for some storms for the day on Sunday. Some in the morning, more in the afternoon, but otherwise the big story is going to be the heat. Heat index values over 100 for today, and we're going to see a repeat. It could be even a little bit higher before those storms develop for the day on Sunday. So here's how it plays out on Future Track. Note our southerly wind. That's going to bring in that heat, that humidity, so our temperatures warming up into the 80s. Almost near 90. I think many of us will at least make a run for 90 degrees this afternoon. Keep in mind that heat index near 100. Then we get some clouds coming in later on this evening into the overnight hours, and note a line of showers and storms developing to the north and west. That's going to track across the area. May start to fall apart, but some of the models are actually keeping that line of thunderstorms all the way down through southern Wisconsin down to the state line, and I think we will see redeveloping storms later in the day, and that's going to bring that threat for some stronger thunderstorms during the afternoon on Sunday. We could be talking about some stronger winds and some heavy rainfall. But for today, should stay dry, high around 90 degrees, hot and humid though, with that heat index near 100, and our 7 to 10 day forecast showing those temperatures cooling down just a little bit as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, highs into the lower 80s. So overall, once we get past this weekend, our work week is going to be looking pretty good. Even next weekend's not bad.
Hey, that's good news at least. Yeah, it looks like a good stretch of just perfect summer weather.
Yeah, low humidity, light breeze, sunshine. I'll take that.
Not to jinx anything.
Yeah, right.
We want to keep the good news going. It's time to share a few of our favorite stories of the week. Finding the motivation to work out during the pandemic has been hard for a lot of us, but one woman found it in the comfort of her very own home.
You got this, Mommy. And make sure you keep up the good work. And never give up. And get trained. And get yourself up and move.
I think that girl has a future as a personal trainer. KP Pound posted this video on Twitter saying she tried to explain to her 4-year-old how hard it's been for her to get moving, so her daughter offered to be her mom's trainer. Pound says her daughter has been keeping her going ever since. And a heartwarming story of kindness from right here in Wisconsin. You might have seen this video go viral earlier this week. It was posted on TikTok and quickly got more than 3 million views. Tracy Eckhart and Elton Hood were on their way to Peoria, Illinois, when Elton encountered an elderly man named Dennis at a truck stop. He said he was lost trying to drive from Arizona to Wisconsin to see his son. Elton wrote down a new set of directions for Dennis and gave him his phone number in case he got lost again. Well, he got a call just 15 minutes later. Dennis was confused. He needed help. So the two decided to drop their plans and go almost 3 hours out of their way to bring Dennis here to Madison, where his son picked him up. Tracy says they felt like they had to make sure he got there safely.
We all have parents, we all have grandparents. Having a parent be lost and have nobody help them, if they're older, I think that's a legitimate fear for a lot of people, right now.
Dennis is supposed to head back to Arizona, but his son isn't able to go with him. So Tracy and Elton made another big decision. They're packing their bags and are driving Dennis all the way back to Arizona themselves. They're actually on their way there right now. I love that story. Be sure to stick with News 3 Now all weekend long. Amanda will have the day's top stories tonight at 6 and 10. But first this morning, helping feed families in need. The new nationwide program doing just that and how you can help curb local food insecurity this coming week here in Madison. Stick with us.
You may feel powerless loving someone with an addiction. But what can you do? Love them, create boundaries, and take care of yourself. Then believe in your loved one. Remind them of who they are. Be patient with the baby steps and forgive them if they take a step backward. Visit UnitedMadison.com/addiction for local resources. Brought to you by 5 Door Recovery, other supporters, and by United Madison.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. New customer? What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
Love that. But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. I'm like sub-level Z of this parking garage, and it still works. It's crazy.
Sir, you're going into signal shock, very common with new customers. Just breathe with me, okay? Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
Choose fair.
Seattle's pledged to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
It's totally normal to have constipation with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way.
More exercise, more water, and more fiber is the only way to manage it.
Is it?
Maybe you think it's occasional constipation.
Maybe it's not.
It could be a chronic medical condition called IBS-C, and time to say yes to Linzess. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Change your thinking to IBS-C. If your constipation and belly pain keeps coming back, tell your doctor and say yes to Linzess.
I like Liberty Mutual. They get that no two people are alike. And customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. What do you think?
I don't see it. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Trust us to get it right.
To keep you prepared.
When severe weather is on the way.
And your family's safety is on the line.
Our team and technology are ready to help you stay safe.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team on News 3 Now.
Finally this morning, with millions of Americans out of work, many families are being forced to go hungry. But there's a new movement spreading across the country, community refrigerators, offering healthy food for free. Michael George introduces us to the Good Samaritans helping feed families in need.
Anyone who said there's no such thing as a free lunch has never been to the corner of 242nd and Broadway in the Bronx. That's where you'll spot this colorful fridge put here by partners Sarah Allen and Selma Raven.
It's a way of putting food in a place that's accessible to everyone that needs it during this time.
It's called a community fridge. People fill it with free, healthy food at a time when so many families are struggling.
You see the need. You see the real need. People are still not making ends meet.
This year, 54 million Americans, including 18 million children, could lack steady access to food. Nick Garcia just lost his job as a painter, and this little fridge has been a lifeline for him.
Words can't even explain how helpful this is for me personally. You know, I'm going through a struggle. It's really saved my life.
And now that word is spreading, people are lining up to help.
This woman here, she calls us, and she makes pasta and rice and brings it twice a week.
This bar, The Last Stop, offered their outlet to keep the fridge running 24/7. Frank Betts, who lost his own job due to the pandemic, brought what he could to restock the fridge.
When I saw this on TV, I said, I got to be part of it. I got to start donating what I have.
Take what you need, leave what you can. It's a simple idea, but one that's grown beyond anyone's expectations.
New York already has more than a dozen community fridges, with more on the way. They're popping up in other cities, like this one in Long Beach, California.
Clearly, it's speaking volumes to the necessity of access to fresh food and free food.
They're all independently run. It's a true community effort.
It's very, very heartening. It's very, very heartening.
We were just a block of people, and now it's a community. It really is.
Neighbors helping neighbors, one meal at a time. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
So we don't have a community refrigerator yet here in the Madison area, but food insecurity is still a big problem. Volunteers at the Goodman Community Center are working right now to collect donations for food for local families ahead of the new school year. We will tell you more about the redesigned Hunger Heroes program tomorrow during our 7 a.m. show. So tune in for that. It's hard to believe that a new school year starts. There's only 3 more weekends of summer break.
Coming up really quick.
I know.
Summer just kind of flew by.
Kind of makes me glad I'm not in school anymore.
Yeah, I feel the same about that.
Do you still get like the jitters when I see back to school commercials? It sometimes just like still makes me nervous.
Yeah, I still have nightmares sometimes about like college finals and stuff. I'm like, why am I dreaming about this now?
Yeah, I know it's been long, but it kind of makes me feel young thinking that I don't think it's that young.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? You're tracking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. We have the alert days in the forecast for today and tomorrow because of the heat. There's that heat advisory in effect for areas west of Madison. The higher heat index values note over 100. I think many of us are still going to be in the upper 90s to right around 100 for heat index values this afternoon. But then we're also tracking the threat for some storms coming in for the day tomorrow. So we will have to keep an eye on that. Some storms in the morning, more storms in the afternoon. But otherwise, today, just downright hot, 90 degrees.
Wow, I said you were tracking a lot of stuff. You put it much more eloquently.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.